Alright, fine. We're gonna do one more run with cheats. Let's do a run or two with cheats. Let's do some science. It's about science time. Oh, what do we do for science? You know, I did say I was gonna try this. Grenade. Okay, we're gonna do grenade with battery. We're going to do amp? Total weapon damage? Probably. We are going to do blast radius. More blast radius. That's let's see, a little bit of targeting. Rapid fire. Not that it's immediately or amazingly helpful. Calibrate, yes. Payload, yes. Concentrated blast, because I want that splinter, obviously. Antimatter rounds, yep. Ataraxia? Kind of nuts, but sure. Let's see, charge shot for obvious reasons. Not that some of these are actually going to be amazingly or immediately helpful. Let's see. Shield durability. I don't want guidance. Guidance is a bad idea. Warpath is always kind of helpful, even if it's not amazing. We could do burst fire, but I don't know how that's gonna go. Let's see. Let's do rebuke. You know what? That'd be another amusing run. It's just attacking by leveling up, seeing how much how well I can do without. I don't know. It's shield cooldown, core shielding, shield durability. I'm just grabbing whatever right now. Let's see. Reflexive shields. I don't know about flash shielding. Regen's always good. Hull strength is good. I'm gonna grab Juggernaut even if it's a bad idea. Rancor, there we go. I was waiting for that. Force armor. I needed that the last run. Honestly. Efficiency, yes. Oh, I don't know about convert. I'll think on that one. See, we want stabilization. We want improved thrusters. We want streamline. We want leaf on the wind. Volatile shields. Let's see, I had it last time. What, really? Damn. Those are some nades. Let's see. Let's go with Incendiary Strike. I don't know if I want Discharge. That seems like a bad idea. Aegis. Yes? Kinda. I don't know how to feel about Barrier. Discharge, no. Emergency systems, absolutely. Hidden power. Ah! Most useful of things right now. Here. Yes. See, could you try out grenade drones? Sure. We can fit them in. Probably. Let's see, I don't really want Gemini Protocol, do I? Maybe I do. Sometimes Gemini Protocol is a bad idea. In this case, I honestly can't tell you. Go. Overclock? Nah. We want Terminate. I'm just kind of grabbing whatever. We could also do some defensive drones, too. We'll just grab everything. Okay, Tactical Link. Not sure if I'm actually going to use it, but still. We don't want... Do we want Essence Sap? %2 of your damage is hull strength over 0.25 seconds. Yeah, I have trouble deciding if that one's worth it, honestly. Especially with self-harm. That's a risky ask. Let's get that. Grab Strafe. Let's see, there's Blitz. I'm just being picky here. Advanced Engineering. Defense Drones. Nanotech Reconstruction. I don't know if I care for Rampart. Let's go Rampart. Let's go Flotilla. I don't know about turning. Evolution. We already have that, so we don't need to. So we could go Guardian. We could go Apotheosis. Let's grab Apotheosis, just for laughs. Interceptor. Ranger. Then reroll until we get... Man, the Interceptor being able to shoot your own gun perk is incredibly rare. Okay, so here we go. Oh god, my shields are tiny. You know, actually, looking at this now... grab a little bit more. We actually want to grab... Guidance. And probably Convergence. Let's see, where's Warp Strike? There's Warp Strike. I don't actually know if it's a good idea. That should work. Let's see, do we grab anything else? Let's grab Burst Fire. Oh, sweet baby Jesus. Oh, interesting. The Interceptors actually have the exact same, effect as I do. Well, this is just hilarious looking. Yeah, so it fires the grenades off to the side, which is actually kind of useless, but also incredibly powerful because that's a lot of grenades. I'm not even sure what hit me there. Unless I was, like, holding just back on the stick a little bit. Could have been possible. Alright, time to only back up until we hit, like, a wave where I need to give a shoot. Giving a shoot. Ah. Damn! We'll just hang out here. I mean, obviously, this is, like, broken nonsense. Oh! It's antimatter rounds that are knocking me backwards. Also, cripes, I take a lot of damage every time I shoot. I lose a lot of HP when I do. Antimatter rounds is spooky. I mean, it's effective. Sorta. Yeah, burst fire might not have been a good idea. In retrospect. Sort of. Let's see, did I even take Splinter Shot? Yes. I think we could use a few more levels. Have you considered purchasing Magnetism? No. Magnetism is for losers and noobs. The best builds are the builds where you only go backwards. Oh, interesting. I actually, if I'm not back thrusting, the antimatter rounds... If I'm not back thrusting, the antimatter rounds actually provide more boost. If I start going backwards and then I shoot, it actually cuts my speed. Because I guess the back thrust is also constantly negating your movement no matter where you are, or what direction you're going. I guess that makes sense. I feel like this video will need an epilepsy warning. Oh, jeez. Can somebody remind me to do that? I'm probably going to edit this video tonight. Maybe, if I have time. What I might do is actually just put this up as one episode on its own. You know, this run and the last run, and just call it epilepsy warning. Royal Rainbow! Wait. I gotta try a different... I have another interesting run. A more limited run. We'll do a more focused one. I'm just gonna get the handful of builds that or the handful of things I need to get, and then we'll just stop. I want to try this again with triple shot homing triple shot interceptors. I've given up shooting. I don't think I need it. Whee! Holy crap, I'm a zippy little sucker. As you can tell at level 71, I'm never gonna level up here. Okay. Well, shall we just bail on this run and try other things? Because I think we've got the science that we're looking for. I'm leaning for bail, if only because, well... Yeah, for normal play, I'd probably skip antimatter rounds on this. Even though it does a buttload more damage, the risk of self-harm is spooky. Yeah, let's bail. I got a different run I want to give a go. Delete. Okay, that's probably good enough. So we want to do... Flak. Actually. Engineer. I don't know if I care. Hey Chimeric, if you're hanging out in chat, what are the base stats of the basic shield? Like, what's the durability and cooldown? Can the interceptors use blade weapons? No, unfortunately they cannot. Which is unfortunate, but... Oh yeah, mainly it's just unfortunate. Let's go Helix. 100 and... Let's do magnitude, velocity, payload. 108, so exactly the same as Helix. So... Really, the answer is always go Helix. Problem solved. Ally. Elegant construction. Rapid fire. Okay, we gotta make sure that we can get what I need. Ataraxia would be amusing. I gotta do a proper Ataraxia build someday. The problem is just like the scaling on it is tough. And I'm never satisfied with anything else. Okay, Ranger. Integrated weaponry. So what level am I? 16. My mouse is on the screen. I think my mouse goes away when I'm not on the leveling. Right? Yeah, because I can't see my mouse except for when I'm on the leveling screen. So yeah, it'll just be there when we pause. And then it'll go away. Chimeric did it good. Don't worry about it. Dude knows his stuff. Okay, there they are. So yeah, the main problem with pulling off this build is straight up just getting it early. Now, the next order of business would be, and I'm probably just gonna play it normal. Maybe? Let's see, what if you use keyboard and mouse in this game? It doesn't work the way you think it does. Keyboard and mouse, you left click to move. It's like, you left-click to move and right-click to fire or something like that. It's a really weird combo. So will burst fire be good for Flak? Honestly, I'm not convinced. Bounce. Let's get shield cooldown. I'm gonna just start investing in durability. Yeah, Flak likes burst fire. My main problem with burst fire is, it doesn't open you up. Well, okay. It opens you up to get wrecked by the little guys. The mouse controls basically mirror Path of Exile and other ARPGs. Really? I guess? Yeah. I guess I'm not used to momentum-based, or momentum physics in, Path of Exile. See, Warpath would be pretty good. Let's go... I could do Charge Shot for extra oomph. Let's go Adaptive Armor. I basically don't have any defensive anythings on this. Because one of my considerations is I could potentially just, I could very easily just, put anti-matter rounds on this. And then, so your interceptors benefit as well. No, it's a good point. There's a couple of things I could do there. Let's see. I don't remember. Yeah, because we could go down for... let's grab the basic defensive things, then I'll consider going for the other features. I don't know. I guess there's just something about that delay that makes burst fire feel really uncomfortable for me. I've always had this in games. Like, I don't like the feeling of burst fire on guns. It just doesn't feel good to me. And I've never been able to put a finger on why. I guess I don't like waiting. Sort of. I also hate, you know, when one shot is enough or 2 shots is enough, that third shot always just feels bleh to me. I don't know about Splinter. I don't think Splinter's going to be as helpful here. Now, I could do Incendiary Strike. Let's go Hull Strength. Yeah, I've always been a fan of... Oh, what's a good example? I mean, honestly, I don't play Destiny much, but the Scout Rifle in Destiny has always felt like one of the best guns I've ever used in a video game. There's just something about how that gun specifically functions that just feels very right. Oh, killed myself. I was really trying to kill that guy, but nope. Well, here, let's actually try that build, maybe. Let's try playing it legit. I remember it took me so long to come around to the Scout Rifle. I took to it immediately. I couldn't get into all of the other weapons because half of them just felt unsatisfying, or like... My problem was the hand cannon took a little bit too long to aim. And, like, for me, sniper rifles take too long to fire and reload and whatever, especially, like, bolt-action ones. Let's see. Because, yeah, damage 16, projectiles 3, rate of fire. No, this absolutely... We absolutely want to do Flak here. We want to do engineer. Well, it's giving them to me. Okay, yeah, let's take this seriously. Because I tend to play dumber when I'm cheating. Let's see. So we want to get the ally immediately. Because the sooner we can give him my shots, the better. I'll probably want to grab turret as well for support constructs. Maybe. Or head for overseer. Not entirely sure. I need to stop. 7 rounds later. I need to try this. Look, Nova Drift is one of those games that it's Civilization for me. I can't really get into the Civilization games. They're too slow for me. I still kind of get into the one more round mentality. But, like, this game, 15-minute rounds, maybe 20, 30 minutes if I'm, like, doing amazingly well. Like, it just feels so much better. Okay, let's grab evolution. Because the sooner we can give them my flak, the sooner we're going to be able to just steamroll things if we're lucky. Because, like, with Binding of Isaac, I can finish a round and feel satisfied. And, you know, maybe part of it is you do die really fast in Nova Drift. With Binding of Isaac, like, your deaths are really slow and you know exactly when it's coming. Or you get the, like, one bad boss fight and you're like, ugh. Whereas, like, Nova Drift is very much one of those games where, like, you know, you're riding that high, and then you hit a low, and you're like, but no. Just a little bit more, and maybe I was fine. You know, maybe just a little bit of fine-tuning, maybe a little bit more reroll RNG. And it makes a massive difference. What other roguelikes are like that? There aren't many. Most roguelikes are a fair bit longer. Those wild mods can't come fast enough, though. Because I think those are going to be fun. Let's see. Let's go a little bit of durability here. This pleases me. Well, I mean, it's a good game. And, yeah, you kind of nailed the addicting quality of it. I guess, actually, the closest comparison I currently have is Path of Exile, which is a self-admitted influence for this game. You know, recently there have been those memory tracks. Do we go blast? Yeah, we want to go blast radius. A little bit more like just raw damage. But with those, I'm like, yeah, I could do like one or two more. And then you just kind of keep going. Yeah, a little bit more on the defensive side, but we're getting close to finishing this build. Or at least the requisite parts. And then I think what I'm going to do is get antimatter rounds and then go at Overseer and just do nothing. I didn't realize you were playing Synthesis. It's the only thing I've been doing for the past couple of days. It's bad. Hey, you're excited, but you can barely find the time. That's usually where I'm at. It's like, I want to play games like Path of Exile, Warframe, I mean, even like Anthem and stuff more often. Let's grab Regeneration. And then I think I'm going to try and go for Apotheosis. Because they keep getting, like, rammed by enemies, and it's annoying. Path of Exile is extremely polarizing. It's because their early game is so... Early game? It's one of those games you have to beat your head on repeatedly before it eventually clicks and you realize it's a fun game. The problem is, getting to that point sucks. I think this is like my 5th time actually trying to play the game. A lot of people aren't enjoying Anthem. I enjoyed Anthem enough. The problem was, I wasn't enjoying it enough to, like, want to play more immediately. It's the kind of game that if they actually, like, fix it and make it good, then it'll be amazing, and if they don't, then it's just going to be forgotten as a piece of garbage. Because I would say Anthem has, like, a better starting potential than probably Fallout 76. Just because Fallout 76 felt kind of confused. Yeah, Warframe needs a better Elder game. They got the grinding down really well. Unfortunately, they lacked the... They got the grinding down, but they don't know how to do bosses very well. And let's grab the shield cooldown. Ow, ow, ow. This is... You are bad. All of this is bad. I'm just gonna stay away from that. I argue their skill tree is extremely user-unfriendly in practice. I absolutely agree. Did I die? No, I didn't. I was not paying attention. I must have gone off screen for a second because I was reading chat. No, the talent tree in Path of Exile would be amazing if you could respec on the fly. But because they force you to regrind and or restart a character to change your build, it's... that part's awful. If... Like I said, if you kind of know what you're doing, it's not so bad. But, like, if you don't know what you're doing or you're playing for your first time and you're like, I'm just gonna kind of do whatever, it's kind of mean. And so, like, yeah, I can totally understand why, like, the really obsessives would go for that, but boy, does it not make it fun for new players that want to get into the series. Which is me, and a lot of my friends in the past. And, you know, I've said time and time again, like, yeah, I think I'd play it a lot more if I could just switch on the fly, especially because then I could be like, hey, I'm just gonna switch my witch over to being an arc build today. And we'll just, like, pursue that instead of, oh, I gotta make a new witch. Say what you want, but Warframe does that really well. Their Elder game sucks in comparison to Path of Exiles, but every bit of progress you make is there for good. It just takes a while to get some of it. Okay, do we go antimatter rounds? Probably not. Now that I have the option, that's good. It's gonna do a shit ton of damage. Oh, right. I especially don't want to do it because I don't have integrated weaponry. Okay, now I do. Warframe undervalues challenge. The problem is Warframe isn't balanced well. The way Path of Exile does it is they just give you procedurally generated stuff up the wazoo, so you straight up can never reach an ending. Whereas, like, Warframe, they want to keep everything level. And it makes sense, but it sucks because they end up balancing kind of around the endgame players, and so instead of making it challenging, they just make it kind of butts. Or too easy. And I feel like the please everybody thing actually works decently well for them, but it's still... how do I describe it? It's all over the place. And yeah, if Warframe could... jeez. I gotta get to the Path of Exile endgame to really talk about it. That's my one problem. Because I have a vague idea of how it works. And I don't know if that kind of loot treadmill stuff would work very well with Warframe. But that kind of content generation seems like it would be more exciting. Good God, those guys just hug you to death. With their lasers. Let's see, what do we grab? Channeling? Channeling. Because I want the core shielding. I don't know if I'm going to be sticking with antimatter rounds. But if I go Overseer, that should solve the problem. Let's see, my own guys can shoot. Let's do rapid fire. Let's see. I don't know. I wouldn't say I need to collect my thoughts a little bit more on this matter. The main problem is just, like, Nova Drift, as much as I love this game, it's not exactly great for me to totally just not pay any attention and just kind of do whatever. Ow, ow. Oh, never mind. We're good. Let's see. I'm trying to think of other games that did it well. I mean, I guess Diablo 3. Even though I've got my grumps about Diablo 3, they do handle their endgame really well, which is just like infinite difficulty modes. You can just keep going. But yeah, I can see why, like, Warframe wouldn't be very happy, with kind of that level of scalability, because a lot of people would just get kind of lost along the way. Because I know, like, one of the first times I ever played Warframe, it was with a friend of mine, and he was trying to show me, like, how rad the game was, and he brought me to a really high-end mission. I couldn't do anything and died left and right. He had everything already, and more or less could just, well, he didn't have everything, but he was much higher level, much better geared, and more or less just smoked everything for me, which became unsatisfying because it was like, I can't do anything here. And I feel like giving players too much power scaling and creep and whatnot would be tough, but I guess it already has that. I don't know. I don't know. I'm never gonna have a good answer for these things just because I think no matter what, like, no one's ever gonna be happy. And the problem is you have to be very careful about, especially with like the more venerable free-to-play pseudo MMOs, because the moment they burn their audience too much, that's the moment their game dies. You know, all too often you see game that was really popular, people really loved it. You know, it had like a really core following, niche audience, blah blah blah. And then something happened to stop. Let's see, do we do burst fire? Yeah, let's do burst fire at this point. And so, like, I can see why they're afraid to do too much. And it's more like kind of small fixes and not... Don't touch it too much, because, yeah, if you change it to the point where nothing is fun anymore, or it's too easy, or it's too boring, then your whole audience leaves you. And you are left with not a whole heck of a lot, which is unfortunate. That's how the game dies. What game was like that for me? I mean, I guess, honestly, World of Warcraft. Every time I try and come back to World of Warcraft, because it's like, it might be fun. I just, like, it's just different, and I don't like it anymore. It's probably easier, but I miss something. Owie. I should probably rush for emergency systems next. I think I'm gonna need that. Let's see. Unfortunately, it's mostly giving me stuff like efficiency and whatnot, which I don't need as much. Come on. Where is... Okay, there we go. I wonder you should play Magicka someday. I would like to. I think once we've had some more time with Moose and Joe, I will try and do a Magicka run. My problem is Magicka is the friendship ender. If you don't have a good crew that's like used to each other, you are going to stop being friends with somebody as part of a Magicka series. Case in point, used to play with a guy called Rockwar, and honestly I had some kind of personality conflicts with him, just because he was a little bit more lackadaisical, and like this is at the beginning of Catter Day. If any of you guys were around for that, many of you guys were. At this point, you know, I've been around long enough that my history is a little bit more known. Anywho, so Rockwar, it was Rockwar, Bird, Shell, and myself, and we were going to play Magicka together because, you know, it's kind of fun. And apart from the fact that that game is kind of a bit of a buggy mess, at the best of times, Rockwar was constantly making the characters wet. Which, like, you think, okay, that's not that big of a deal. But if you want to use a single lightning spell, you have to dry yourself off first. And so because he was constantly... Okay, that was extremely poorly timed. Let's see, I don't want stabilization. Deadly Wake? No, I kind of want Streamline, actually. There it is. Because he kept making us wet... I pretty much was dying left and right, because my favorite spell used lightning. And, you know, no matter how nicely I ask, he wouldn't change how he played. It got really frustrating, because it was just like... I realized that this is a game where you're kind of supposed to be, like, trolly, you know, friendly, fiery, but after a certain point, it was just like, I don't want to be here anymore with you. He also kept trying to throw away, like, any cool random equipment you picked up because you can't get it back. And it was like, it was really frustrating. And so it's like, I think it's one of those where it's hilarious when you accidentally make the mistake. It's not so hilarious when it's intentional. Let's see, do we go down support specialist? Yeah, we should probably start going down that. And so yeah, pretty much between, you know, that Magicka series, and I think there were a number of times where he straight up would just like show up to Catterday streams and just not say anything. We'd only be playing together, and it'd be like maybe me and Purple or something like that, and we'd be doing like Isaac races. He just wouldn't say a word for like 20 minutes and then say like, I won, and it's like, oh, I don't know. Magicka kind of ruined that friendship. It probably could have worked out, but it just, it highlighted, oh, come, really? Wow. That killed me fast. I didn't even get to, antimatter rounds. I guess I pussyfooted around getting Overseer too long, and then it was kind of too late. Oh well, that was a good run. That was a decent-ish ending run. We'll try that again. I think the main problem was I was having trouble getting some of the things I needed, and I was getting other upgrades instead. And then that enemy is particularly brutal if you're not ready for him. And honestly, after almost 4 hours of Nova Drift, yeah, go figure, I was kind of... I'm kind of losing my reflexes a little bit. It was a fun game, but oof, 4 hours is enough to cook your head.